So it's Gordon Cockerpunk here again, and just wanted to make this video here explaining, you know, the nature of this whole beast that we've started in motion. Deep Blue is a forum on automegs.org. If you've ever been there, it's a sweet website. Automegs.org, and then go to the forum, and then to Deep Blue. In Deep Blue, Tom Kaye published a lot of his experiments with spin, with rifling, with that sort of thing. But he did it in an interesting manner. Whereas, you know, me and Bryce do an experiment, post it on YouTube, post it on a couple of forums, and it turns into this huge fight fest, and we do all this conclusion stuff, and then people are like, no, 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 your conclusions are all wrong, yada, yada, yada. He just posted the data and said, for the people who care, for the people who want to know, here's the data, find out for yourself. And the more I do this, the more I understand the wisdom of that. Because, you see, he understood that most people just don't care. They believe what they want to believe. You know, they believe egos clear paint faster than other guns. Doesn't make any sense to me, but they believe it. They don't want to be convinced otherwise. They want to spend their $1,300 or whatever on some gun. Ego is not even in particular the gun I'm thinking of. There's all sorts of guns that have gimmicky features that probably don't do jack. But they just want to believe, and that's okay if that's their existence. They want to believe, but for the people who are, and those people who want to believe, they're totally closed-minded about it. They just, your test is wrong. Got in an argument with somebody about whether open bolt or closed bolt was more accurate, and I said there's no difference. And it boiled down to this guy just saying there is a difference, and I was like, right. So he had no evidence or whatever to argue it, but he believes a closed bolt is more accurate. And I can't convince him otherwise, and a YouTube video isn't going to convince him otherwise, and a bunch of numbers on a sheet of paper aren't going to convince him otherwise. So TK just had the wisdom that people don't care, and only the people who want to know are going to care enough to actually do anything about it. And so I want to know paintball physics, so I'm doing tests, and I'm going to do tests whether we publish them or not. Because I want to know. But the whole issue of publishing them comes up in that how TK did it, he just published a bunch of numbers, some pictures, and said, go do it. Those people who care enough will do their own research, and they will conclude the same thing I did, because, and that's what ended up happening. But at the same time, that's not my goal. My goal is to not appeal to that certain individual who will go out of their way to be that guy who does all that research. That's not what I want to do. I want to get more people involved to the point where I don't have to do every test. Other people will do tests. Other people will wonder about things that I've never wondered about, and they'll do tests on those, and then I can say, you know, that was a great test. Like, the point is to build a community here of paintball tinkerers. And so our goals are not the same. Me and TK's goals are not the same. We both do want to get to the truth of it, and we're going to try, but it's really annoying when you make the same point to 20 different people in a 30-page thread the same way. You just had to repeat it over and over and over and over again. I don't want to do that anymore. So there's nothing in it for me to do that over and over and over again. Especially when it's stuff like, does the barrel matter for range? Oh, I got the video to prove that the barrel doesn't matter for range. I just don't want to edit it. It's 20 minutes of plink 269, plink 271, plink 282, plink 265. That's boring as hell. No one wants to watch that. Which actually brings me to the next point here. We're going to be changing up our methods here, hopefully, and doing some more scientific testing, because the reason why we videotaped the first test, the shocker range test, was to prove to everybody that we actually did it, because nobody nobody believed that anybody actually did it. So it just kind of, and then, you know, before we uploaded it on YouTube, you could see the paintballs flying just fine, and it made perfect sense, but then we realized that YouTube is a really shitty place to be making scientific points. So we're probably going to do these tests more along the lines of the paint-to-barrel test, with a data sheet and then a video of analysis. And the analysis portion there being what TK would have left out. But my opinion is that we need to educate the paintball community in order to get them interested in this sort of thing. So the analysis, in my opinion, is key. Because otherwise you got people saying, you know, ridiculous things like poppet valves, don't shoot as far as spool valves, and low pressure creates less ball wobble, and ridiculousness like that. So if we educate the paintball community and we get them interested in this sort of thing, then we got someplace to go. So that's where I want to go. We're going to get a little bit more scientific in our tests, which means more numbers, but it also means less boring videos, so hopefully you'll accept that, because let's face it, pretty much all of those videos are boring as hell. And trust me, they're boring to do as well. The conclusions are fun, but you gotta do a bunch of boring crap to get to them. Anyway, so that's pretty much my goal here, is to create a community so that I don't have to do all the work, and so that I don't have to answer the same questions over and over and over and over again. It annoys me. And I'll just stop publishing videos, really. I mean, if I prove it to myself, then that's... If me and Bryce find out the truth, then, you know what? We're paying for the test anyway. So, but I don't want it to get to that point. I want to be able to share this stuff with you guys. So, let's keep... The plan is, we'll make our tests more scientific. Make our videos maybe a little bit more numerical, and by that... That's a good thing, though, because that makes everything more scientific. So it's not a, did that shot look identical to that shot? No, we can compare 5, and if it's different than 6, then we know there's a difference. So be more scientific. We're going to publish maybe some more stuff like that. At the same time, I want people to watch the whole video, read the info, read the post if we post it, and... read the whole thread before commenting, because most of the time we've covered all of our bases on this, and I'm not going to claim we're perfect or anything like that, but a lot of times we answer the same damn question 100 times, and it annoys me. So, that's the deal I'm making with you guys. If you guys read the whole thread, we'll keep posting, we'll keep doing research, and if you got questions, message us. I'm happy to answer questions. Just not the same old question every single time. And we'll just keep rolling with this. I'm having a blast. I've learned more in the last month and a half of doing around 8 hours total worth of paintball testing than I have in the previous 8 years of my paintball existence. So it's pretty groundbreaking, at least in my opinion, as far as published work has gone. Mann's test would also be in that category. Mann's barrel test was huge. And Tom Kaye's stuff too. So, let's just keep it real, and let's remember to be scientists about this whole thing, and keep an open mind is what I'm trying to say. It's just, it's been great, and I'm having a blast doing it, and there's just a few things that I'd getting annoyed with. So, you guys have a good day, and I'll upload this on YouTube, and we'll get that Cooper T bolt out, and we'll shoot it, see if a true backspin bolt is any different than a plugged Venturi bolt. There's another myth to be busted. You guys keep sending in suggestions if you got ideas for myths. We got equipment, and like I said, we're going to get more, even more sophisticated. Better yet, if you got an idea for a myth, do it yourself. That's the whole point. We're doing this test with an $80 chronograph. A guy I know, my girlfriend's brother's front yard or backyard, and a piece of wood that I hammered together, and a level. Like, that's maybe $200 total worth of stuff. We've already disproved like 3 myths with it. So it's not that huge of an undertaking, and if you set it up right, it's worth something. So, yeah, with that, I'm out of here, and keep watching the videos, keep subscribing, keep giving me ideas, and keep sending me questions, but make sure you do your research first so I don't have to answer the same question over and over again. So, but good work keeping us honest, and our goal here is the truth. It's not to impart our own physics beliefs. In that case, the paint the barrel match test would be way different than I would have published it, because it was totally different than what I thought paint the barrel match was about. But we're not out there to prove anything. We're out there to look for the truth of the matter. So keep sending us questions and myths and stuff, and we'll keep doing them. So signing off here. Have a good one.